Hey everyone, I'm Nick Lagakis of Island TV Sports, and this is the Staten Island High School Basketball Tournament Recap Show. 8 years ago, Staten Island Cable got together with the local coaches and came up with the idea of a week-long tournament, and it has turned out to be a huge success. The first ever championship went to St. Peter's in 1993, but ever since, the Curtis Warriors have dominated, winning 5 of 6 titles. Tony Raffanello and the New Dorp Centrals interrupted that streak in 1996. So who would be king of the county in the year 2000? Well, even though Curtis was the heavy favorite, there were a few teams that entered quarterfinal action with the possibility of an upset in their grasp. Let's take a look. In Game 1 of the ESPN Classic Staten Island Cable High School Basketball Tournament, the 6-seeded Moore Mavericks bumped heads with Joey Kosh's Susan Wagner Falcons, who were in the 3 slot. Earlier in the year, the two met, with Wagner coming away with a 65-43 win. Scoring was at a minimum in the first half, but the contest was close. Wagner's dynamic duo, Angelo Garcia and Mike Ledbetter, helped the Falcons to a 3-point halftime lead. Mavericks head coach Rich Pastiglione needed to find a way to get his club to believe they could pull off the upset, and the answer was Stephen Bova. The senior center came alive in the second half, burying shot after shot and helping Moore to a 1-point lead. He finished with 14 points on the day. It was this Dexter Butler three-pointer that put the Falcons up for good and Wagner into the semis for the second straight year. The Falcons win it 43-39. In Game 2, the second-seeded Tottenville Pirates went head-to-head with the hottest team in the league, the Monsignor Farrell Lions. But this one was everything but hot. The sloppy play on both ends of the court had fans wondering if anyone wanted to win it. An early Lion lead meant that Tottenville had to climb back into it. The Pirates posted a lopsided 77-58 win back in November, but Farrell wasn't about to let up in this one. A late run at the end of the first half gave Farrell a 4-point lead. Head coach Greg Janicki knew that his team had to keep its intensity focused, but it was the Pirates who came out refreshed in the second half. Chris Ortiz helped the Tots grab back the lead, and it was back and forth from then on. Willie Boone and Jason Davis combined for 21 points, but Mike Reep knew not to take this Farrell team for granted. Giuseppe Aguano's free throw pulled the Lions to within 2, but that was as close as they would come. Ortiz was fouled on this three-pointer, giving Tottenville a 5-point lead. His free throw buried Farrell and ousted them from the quarters for the third consecutive year. Tottenville wins it 51-42. In Game 3, the St. Joseph by the Sea Vikings and the St. Peter's Eagles met up for the third time this season. In the previous 2 meetings, Sea seemed as if they were the stronger of the two as they split their head-to-head matches. The rubber match, though, saw the Eagles jump out to a quick lead thanks to John Baiano and Danny Digby. When you face Sea, though, you have to watch out for the Cordasco brothers. Paul and Tommy combined for 33 points and helped the Vikes roar back to take a 2-point halftime lead. Head coach Tommy Massano looked as if his club was going to exact revenge upon Peters for eliminating them last season. The Eagles wouldn't have it, though. They outscored Sea 17-9 in the third quarter, making coach Rich Lagrada a happy man. It was the 7th time in the 8 years of the tourney that the Eagles advanced to the semis. Dagby finished with 8 points on the night, while Baiano, Diamond, John Berzo, and David Vega all hit double figures. St. Peter's advanced 69-56. In the final match of the day, Tony Raffanello and the Newt Centrals looked like a cakewalk for Curtis as the Warriors jumped out to a 20-13 lead in the first quarter. Nigel Wyatt was hitting jump shots from all over the court while Mike Jenkins was burying threes. Head coach Tim Gannon and the Warriors looked like they were in the driver's seat and on their way to another trip to the semis, in which they have never missed. Not so fast, though, said the Centrals, as Stanley Bolden and Melvin Day helped lead Newdorf back from the dead. And with Wyatt on the bench, the boys in green took control and actually grabbed the lead. Mike Newcomb wasn't about to give in that easy. This jumper gave Curtis back the lead before the big man slapdown sealed it and moved the Warriors into the Final Four, 75-59. Well, there you have it. The top 4 seeds advanced for the first time in a long time. We're going to take a short commercial break, and when we come back, we'll take a look at what happened between these rivals. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Staten Island High School Basketball Tournament Recap Show. This year's semifinals matched up some good old-fashioned rivalries and showcased the 4 best clubs on the island. Let's take a look. Tottenville and Susan Wagner faced off for the 3rd time this season in the semifinals, and folks, unlike their first 2 meetings, this one was a classic. The first half saw a lot of back-and-forth action as Paul Aracco scored 12 of his 23 points in the first quarter. Wagner's Angelo Garcia continued his great play, pouring in 14 points. Earlier in the year, the 2 teams split their meetings, and both games were less than entertaining. This was not the case here, as the rivalry grew even more heated thanks to the do-or-die situation. Neither Kasha nor Reap have ever been to the finals, so the tension was growing. The Pirates held a 2-point edge at the half and opened it up in the second half. Mike Ledbetter's layup cut the lead to 4, and the Falcons' stifling defense allowed Wagner to draw closer. The Pirates' lack of scoring from downtown threat Chris Ortiz didn't help matters down the stretch either. Ledbetter, who had 18 points on the night, came through again when this shot put Wagner on top. The Pirates were on the verge of being knocked out, but Willie Boone's layup with 8 ticks remaining tied it at 52. Into overtime we go, and it was all Wagner. Sean Murphy gave Wagner the lead they would not give up again. The Falcons knocked off the 2 seed and advanced to the finals for the first time ever, 66-58. Their opponent was to be determined in the most anticipated game of the night. The North Shore rivalry was taking center stage again as Curtis and St. Peter's met in a rematch of last year's championship game. It looked as if this one was going to be over early thanks to a Warrior barrage in the first quarter. Curtis jumped out to a 14-2 lead and looked well on their way. It was 1997 when the Eagles last beat Curtis, and like any heated rivalry, it's never an easy win. St. Peter's jumped back into the game thanks to John Baiano. The 5'7" guard put the team on his back and led the Eagles on a 13-2 run. Mike Jenkins and Curtis didn't cave though, and the two teams went back and forth in the fourth quarter. Nigel Wyatt stepped up once again, pouring in 21 points on the night. Keith Latendra came right back for Peters, tying the game. But it was this huge steal by Wyatt that led to a 64-62 lead and iced it for Curtis. The Warriors were heading back to the championship in search of its fourth title in a row. Wow, two amazing games on semifinal night, and that sets the stage for Wagner and Curtis in the championship game. Would it be the Warriors winning another title, their 6th in 8 years, or would it be Wagner winning their first title ever? We'll have all the action when we get back from this commercial break, so stay tuned. Hey, welcome back to the Staten Island High School Basketball Tournament Recap Show. This year's matchup between Curtis and Susan Wagner was much anticipated, but a lot of people believe that this Curtis team hadn't lost all year and they weren't going to lose tonight. Would Wagner be the team to go down in history as the one that beat the Giant? Let's take a look. Coach Tim Gannon knew that his team might be a bit overconfident and that Wagner would be looking to start out quickly. Gannon proved to be right. The Falcons opened a quick 4-0 lead thanks to Jaquan Hines and Angelo Garcia. These two clubs know each other thanks to a trip down south to Georgia back in December. Gannon knew it would stay close. The Warriors have that championship experience though, and they know how to handle adversity. And that's exactly what happened. Curtis began to chip away, impressing many in the crowd. Even the legendary Walt Clyde Frazier was on hand. Curtis took a slim lead into the half, but weren't able to shake the Falcons in the third quarter. Gannon wanted more from his club, and the Warriors responded. Nigel Wyatt's alley-oop slam seemed to be the beginning of the end. Curtis led by as many as 14 points before Wagner started to come back, and in a big way. Angelo Garcia led the 11-1 run and brought the fans back into the gym. Mike Ledbetter's steal led to this Garcia tray and cut Curtis's lead to 4. It was Lance Naringi, though, that brought the roof down.
Naringi gets a pick. Naringi pull up a 3. He got it! We are tied! Newcomb gets it in. We're tied at 71. Downing committed a backcourt violation. It wasn't called. Timeout, Curtis!
This place is going nuts.
The score was tied at 71, and the impossible was close to happening. And with little time left on the clock, Wagner loses the ball, and as Garcia and Jenkins crawl on the floor for it, veteran referee Steve Rossiter calls a foul, giving Jenkins the chance to win it. He buries one of the 2 shots, giving Curtis the win and their 4th straight championship. Island TV's Wayne Fiddleman spoke with Coach Gannon after the game.
4 championships in a row, 5 overall. The school's won 6 of the 8 that have been here. Just talk about the program and how it just continues to grow.
Well, I'm blessed with great athletes. I'm blessed with great parents. I have a great junior varsity and freshman coach in Woodman, McNamara and Franz Reb. I have great assistants this year. The glue that held this team together is my wife, Carolyn. This one's for you. I don't know how we got through this year, but you ask any of the players, she was on the trip with us, and she kept it together. And I think it's our family atmosphere, the number of faculty that are here, it's the fans, and I'm just a lucky guy to be in a great situation.
We're going to talk about Nigel Wyatt in a minute, but it's more than just Nigel Wyatt on this team. We talked about the Mikes all-tournament, Jenkins and Newcomb, Terry Downing. Talk a little bit about the rest of the team.
Well, I always felt we had great guards. Those were the guys I wanted to go to in the end. I had great confidence in them. We've been pushed a lot during the year. We didn't bend. We didn't break. Tonight we were fortunate enough to come up with a big play in the end. Mike J makes the foul shot that puts us ahead. That's the way it's been this year with these guys. They're tough kids. They're great competitors, and I'm just real proud of them.
We talked about this before the game, how the team, when they're pushed, how cool and calm they remain. What's the reason behind that?
Well, it certainly wasn't the coach, because I wasn't cool and calm the last couple of minutes. But I think a lot of it's experience. I think a lot of it's the tough schedule that we play. I think this hopefully will help us as we head into the PSAL playoffs, because, we're not going to be able to have that type of 2 minutes at the end of a game and be able to win against top competition in the city. So, I like to think that's a major part of it.
Finally, let's just talk about the big man. An absolutely fantastic game. You couldn't say enough great things about him when we talked before the tournament, and he has just done nothing but impress.
I just love Nigel. He's been on the varsity for 3 years. I think if the team lost tonight, I'd go home with a crushed heart, knowing that he wasn't able to walk away with the singleton, because I know how much it means to him. It means more to him than anything else. So I was just glad he was able to carry us throughout the tournament as well as tonight, and I'm just proud of the young man he's become.
Nigel Wyatt was named tournament MVP, averaging 25 points in the 3 games. Staten Island Cable's all-tournament team included John Baiano of St. Peter's, Jason Davis of Tottenville, Mike Ledbetter and Angelo Garcia of Susan Wagner, and Mike Newcomb of Curtis. Well, there you have it, the whole tournament in one little half-hour show. It was definitely the best tourney this island has seen in the 8 years of its existence, and hopefully it will continue to be just as entertaining for everyone involved. Don't forget to keep on watching us here at Island TV, and if you have any questions or comments, you can email us at islandtvsports@sicable.com. Until next time, I'm Nick Lagakis.